Hi, I'm Frank Vander Shock. I'm a dairy farmer in southwestern Ontario. I was at a meeting on calf health last week and toured a veal farm. I met with the owner, John Remble, and we had a good chat. It's amazing. Our industries are so different, but we're both passionate about raising healthy calves. One thing that surprised me was the challenges John sees when raising male dairy calves. What really got to me was that many of these challenges could be addressed by better communication and cooperation between dairy and veal farmers, a team approach. I learned a few things I thought more producers ought to be aware of. John went over his 5 must-haves when buying calves. 1. Body weight, always over 100 pounds. 2. Level of dehydration. Calves need to be well hydrated. 3. Navels must be dry and normal. 4. No diarrhea. Diarrhea is a deal breaker. 5. Colostrum management. If they haven't had a timely, high-quality colostrum meal, he's not interested in them. For John, these are the keys to disease prevention before calves get to his facility. The larger the calves, the lower the level of disease. These bigger calves are likely older when they leave the farm. This means they're better able to respond to the stresses they may experience, like transportation, feed restriction, poor environmental conditions, and commingling with calves from many different dairy farms between their source farm and the veal facility. Larger calves also probably received higher quality nutrition at their source farm, which means they've got more energy reserves to fight disease. John said that making sure the calves are at least 100 pounds or 45 kilograms will go a long way to preventing disease once they reach the veal farm. What surprised me was how many calves were dehydrated when they get to John's facility. He told me that more than 40% of incoming calves had signs of dehydration. John said that dehydrated calves were far more likely to die. The ones that lived just never gained weight as well as they should have. He said that some of this might happen during transportation, but it may have started before the calves left the dairy farm. John said he makes sure that calves are bright and alert and well hydrated before buying them. John felt that inspecting the navel for swelling or thickening, heat, pain, or moisture was also important. When calves arrived into his facilities with an abnormal navel, they were also more likely to die. John mentioned that evaluating these navels was easy. It's as simple as having a quick feel of the navel. He often leaves calves behind when their navels feel big and are painful or have heat or malodorous discharge present. John also doesn't want calves that have diarrhea. Just like my heifer calves, if those bull calves have diarrhea, they can easily get dehydrated during transportation. When they arrive at his place, they're much more likely to get sick or die. John mentioned that bull calves need colostrum every bit as much as heifer calves. He told me that although it's difficult to evaluate, he will sometimes take blood samples to look at the total protein or antibody levels of the calves coming in to determine farms that might not be managing colostrum well. Calves with lower total protein or antibodies likely didn't get enough high-quality colostrum at the right time. He knows he's in for a challenge with these calves, as they tend to get sick and not grow as well as calves that have high total proteins. John's comments really got me thinking about how I manage male calves on my farm. There are a lot of things I can control to make sure that the calves leaving my farm will be healthy and productive for veal farmers like John. I try to make sure that I manage my dry cows well, feed 4 liters of high-quality colostrum within the first 6 hours of life to calves, as soon as possible after birth, and feed calves a full meal before they leave my farm. One thing I've started doing is examining every calf that leaves my farm. I check their navels, make sure they're well hydrated and are not showing signs of diarrhea or other illnesses. I also provide a record for each calf that states their age and whether they have received any antibiotics or waste milk. This way, I can rest assured that all calves leaving my farm are in good shape. John is even paying a premium for the calves from my farm as a result. Meeting John and seeing things from his perspective was great. It made me realize that working together and building relationships between veal and dairy farmers is in the best interest of everyone. If we share resources and information like the total protein results that John collects on his farm, I'll know what kind of job I'm doing with the health management of my calves. Strengthening these relationships can help improve the health and welfare of calves, and I look forward to having more discussions with John.